Well, here I am, sat in the 150, just about to do an introduction video to my channel. You're probably wondering why yet another 4x4 Overland build of yet another Toyota and yet another Prado. You've probably seen many of the excellent videos coming out of Australia and South Africa and the USA, all shot in beautiful locations, Bondi Beach and the Gold Coast and the Ivory Coast and some rugged track in the outback. Fantastic. Unfortunately, it's not always like that. So my thoughts are, what is it like to build a similar vehicle here in sunny England? So I am now sat in my 150, or Prado as they're better known, in the pouring rain in sunny East Anglia. I was hoping to do a little tour of my car for you, but obviously it's not going to happen just yet. So just by way of introduction then, my intention for this channel is to show the build of the car. I've already started, unfortunately, so I'll show you around fairly shortly when it stops raining a few of the bits that I've done so far. I'll try and talk you through some of the bits that I've yet to do. I'm not particularly technical, so some of the work will be done by other people, and I should note that at this point that I'm not sponsored by anyone. I'm not affiliated to any company. If I look at a product or review a product, the views will be my own because I've bought and paid for it. That said, the intention for this channel is not just to show you the build of the car, but once the car is built, once COVID is over, we'll start going places, and I'll start looking at the products I use and show you what I use and how I use them, to try and give you some ideas of what you can do. So a bit about me. I've been off-roading and overlanding, I guess, for quite a number of years. Up until now I've always owned Land Rover Defenders. I've had about 4, maybe 5 of them. Still got one, in fact, which is up for sale. I might put a link to that somewhere in this description if you're interested. But there comes a time when you want something just a little more comfortable, and dare I say it, at the risk of being flamed to death, probably a bit more capable. So that's why, after much persuasion from friends who have a similar hobby, I bought this. This is a 150 LandCruiser, as it's known in the UK. It's the Invincible X model, so it's got a few of the bells and whistles. I believe in Australia it's known as the Kakadu, and that's the car that we're going to turn into, hopefully, quite a decent overland vehicle. Some of the difficulties I've faced so far are obviously Brexit related, and I don't really want to get political, and COVID related. Brexit because a lot of the quality products you can buy for this car come from Australia, South Africa and the US, and they transit through Europe. I think specifically Germany, some through France, and others through parts of Eastern Europe. Couriers' life has been made much more difficult by Brexit, to the point where some of them have actually stopped bringing goods into the UK and out of the UK. The ones that remain have put their prices up so high because of the crazy paperwork they now have to do, that a lot of the companies who deal in these parts simply won't use them. Now, COVID, obviously, because the factories in which these parts are made have got reduced workforces, whereas they were sending 150 winches out a week. They're now sending 20. So getting hold of parts is ridiculously difficult. Secondly, because everyone is off, everyone's thinking that they're going to build an off-roader, so it's great for some of the builders in the UK who are putting these cars together. I don't think they've ever been so busy, but that coupled with the shortage of available product is a real challenge. So that's why I thought it may be interesting to describe how I do things, where I get things, and the frustrations surrounding getting hold of parts in some sort of timely manner. For example, there's a winch and winch bumper setup which I'm still waiting for. I ordered it back in something like October. We're now in March of 2021. So that's hopefully what we'll discuss. Well, different day. Here we are, and as promised, I'm going to give you a little wander around the car, show you the bits and bobs that I've done to it so far. So here we go. Stay tuned. On the back, this is the K-On drop down table, which I've slightly modified. These are basically Maxpedition Velcro cases, just for the odd bits and bobs, and they're stuck onto a Velcro pad which runs the entire length of the K-On table, and it all clips on with a vinyl cover basically. This is not a product that's available. This was made for me by a mate of mine who's a upholsterer. So yeah, I'll show you the table. The table is basically a stainless steel table which is held up by these two little latches at either end. Two little bungees, I should say. This one's a bit stiff. Drops down to a perfectly neat little table which stows against the back of the car. This is the Prado version, obviously, but I believe they make versions for other cars. Two brackets which are just held in with self-tappers. There's about 4, I believe, on each corner. Hinges, all stainless steel. You can see here how the vinyl wrap is held on by a little J trim, little plastic J trim. Just very neat, very quick to use. Little drop down, fold down table by K-On. Okay, up top at the moment we've got a front runner awning. I think it's a 2-metre awning, but don't hold me to that. It's pretty good. Probably no better, no worse than the other offerings. Couple of things I probably would change. The vinyl cover, probably not great, because you do really need to air this every time you come home. And a couple of other things. I'll do a full review of the awning, and I'll tell you the things I don't like and why it will be changed fairly soon. Moving round, front runner roof rack with the obligatory bottle opener. This here is a latch for the table which slides into this space here, and again I'll do a full review of all of these things in time. The wheels are 17-inch braid wheels, keeping everything fairly close to standard. This car actually came with 19-inch alloys from the factory, which were just horrible, so they had to go. So I've got a smaller rim but a fatter tyre, which is the way to do it. As I say, the wheels are 17-inch braids. The tyres are BF Goodrich KO2s. They're 265/70/17s. They seem to suit the car pretty nice. I know you can go bigger, and some people like to, but that's not for me. Okay, the Iron Man snorkel, which is not a Safari, I know. Should I have bought a Safari? Who knows? To be honest with you, this one was readily available when I was looking, and I don't honestly think there's an awful lot of difference, but people will probably tell you otherwise. Okay, a few changes under the bonnet to talk about, not too many. Again, I'll cover most of this stuff in more detail and let you know why I've done it, but this is just by way of introduction. I've changed it over to a 2-battery system. In the UK this car doesn't come with twin batteries. At the moment I've got 2 Blue Top Optimas running in series. That's just really to keep this, which will be the auxiliary battery, charged for now. So the cables run down under here, under the slam panel, and they're running in series to this battery here. So this will be changed out. This battery will become a full auxiliary battery, which will run my fridge and the electrics for the car as and when I need them. Moving up here, there's a catch can. I know these are very divisive. Some people like them, some people hate them. If you watch the excellent videos by 4B Diesel, I think you'll find he hates them, but that's not to say they don't have a use. And over on this side we have a pre-diesel filter. I think it's 30 microns. Just down from that you'll see the diff breathers just poking out there. Okay, moving inside the car then, got a full set of escape gear seat covers, which I think every four-wheel drive should have. They're beautifully made, polycotton seat covers, washable, completely removable. You don't have to take the seats out to fix them. Basically they're just held in with straps and velcro and zips. Beautifully made. I think they come from South Africa. Again, difficult to source in this country, but not impossible. I had to buy these on the Escape Gear website and have them shipped over. It's the same in the back. Just really nice heavy duty seat covers, perfectly fitted, every part is covered including the armrest. Beautiful. Pockets on the back of the seats, both seats, and fully airbag compatible for this car. Okay, this is the EVC throttle controller. It's a bit bright in the sunshine there. Basically you can set this using the two buttons, mode button and set button, and you can set it the sensitivity of the throttle basically. So when you're off-roading you can wind the throttle sensitivity back, and it gives you a much smoother, less jaggedy, jumpy ride off-road. Very good, very good piece of kit. It's also got a performance mode, so you can turn your throttle into an on-off switch basically, which is great if that's your bag. The car also has a Unichip X chip. It's a piggyback chip which basically is installed down there underneath the glove box in the side panel. It was professionally fitted, and I'll tell you about that in a separate video because there's a whole lot to tell. This is a little controller fob for the Unichip X, and I've just made a little 3D printed bracket, a little kind of clip just to store it on the dashboard. Just simply removes, and it just makes your life a little easier. I will go into detail about this little thing, but it has 5 settings: 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and each one sets the chip into a different mode. 6 and 7 are programmable, so if you have a garage door opener for example, you can program it to one of those. It's a great bit of kit, and transforms the drive of the car. I will do a separate video on this with a posting of all the relevant changes in horsepower and torque. Well, you're probably wondering, is there much more to go? Because he seems to have done everything. Well, we haven't spoken about winches and winch bumpers, which are on order. We haven't spoken about roof tents or 270 awnings, which are on order. We haven't spoken about drawer systems, which I have got, but I haven't got the wing kit because that's on order. We haven't got a fridge. Well, I have got a fridge, but the one that's going in this car I haven't got because that's on order. And a lot of these things have been on order for some time. So there's lots to stay tuned for. If there's anything you want to know more about, let me know in the comments. Otherwise, give us a thumbs up and consider subscribing. Cheers. Bye.